Es geht hier ums Patientenwohl, das sollten wir jetzt endlich mal kapieren. Hippokrates ist mein Idol, es geht hier ums Patientenwohl, das sollten wir jetzt endlich mal kapieren.
Wollt ihr noch eine Strophe? Herr Wien wollte es auch auf Türkisch machen. Ich finde, das ist cool. Mach's bitte auch auf Türkisch, okay? Thank you.
Genfer Gelöbnis, hippokratischer Eid. Ich gelobe feierlich, mein Leben in den Dienst der Menschheit zu stellen. Ich werde die Autonomie und die Würde meiner Patienten respektieren. Die Autonomie und Würde respektieren. Özgürlüğe ve sağlığa, hastalarımın onuruna adadım hayatımı insanlığa. Vazgeçmedim doğrudan, Hippokrat'ın yolundan, haysiyetim ve bağımsızlığımdan. Ben bir köle olamam, yalanlara kanamam, asla dönmem dost doğru yoldan. Ben bir köle olamam, yalanlara kanamam, asla dönmem dost doğru yoldan. Medizinischen Fähigkeiten nicht anwenden, um Menschenrechte und bürgerliche Freiheiten zu verletzen. Selbst wenn ich bedroht bin. Ich gelobe dies feierlich, aus freien Stücken und bei meiner Ehre.
Bravo! Dankeschön! Danke, liebe Karin, Dankeschön. Wunderbar. Also, bitte. Die Ärztin Perin Dinekli, auf YouTube sind auch einige ihrer Lieder zu finden. Ich glaube, Sie hören sich das sicher noch ein paar Mal an. So, es ist mir eine besondere Ehre, nun unseren nächsten Sprecher vorzustellen. Sie wissen, ich habe sehr häufig, auch schon bei Demonstrationen, die ich mit Nadja Hubmann organisiert habe, von Professor Gerd Wandenbosch gesprochen, Herrn Dr. Gerd Wandenbosch gesprochen. Er ist PhD, er ist Veterinärmediziner, er ist Impfstoffentwickler. Er hat uns schon Videobotschaften geschickt für unsere Demonstration, zum Beispiel im Januar in Wien und auch noch für weitere Demonstrationen Ende Februar in Wien. Und ich finde, er ist einer, der stark attackiert wurde und wird, und das spannenderweise von den Impfbefürwortern, aber eben auch für manche seiner Äußerungen sehr wohl auch von den Impfkritikern. Das heißt, er ist hier wirklich schwer im Kreuzfeuer, und es gibt, so haben wir das auch bei der Better Way Konferenz gestern in Wien-Vösendorf in der Pyramide gemacht, der Dr. Gerd Wandenbosch hat dort gesprochen und er hat einfach seinen Bezug gegeben, was er jetzt eben in seiner wissenschaftlichen Annahme auch mit den Kollegen dort bei dieser Konferenz gestern geteilt hat. Und es geht darum, und das ist mir das Wichtigste, es muss den wissenschaftlichen Diskurs geben dürfen, und den öffentlich-wissenschaftlichen Diskurs, wissen Sie, wünsche ich mir mit so vielen anderen Kollegen schon längst, denn schon längst sollten ein Herr Professor Andreas Sönnigsen und ein Herr Professor Schubert und viele andere Ärzte, die Sie auch kennen, Dr. Lukas Trimmel zum Beispiel von Gesundheit für Österreich, die sollten in einer Live-Sendung im Mainstream-Fernsehen sitzen mit den sogenannten Experten und Expertinnen, und dann sollen die uns einmal ihre Daten zeigen, die Herrschaften zum Beispiel vom Nationalen Impfgremium. Und wissen Sie was, es sind schon Versuche gestartet worden, und ich hoffe, es gibt weitere Versuche meiner mutigen Kollegen, damit die auch wirklich sagen, Wir möchten mit euch am besten in einer Live-Sendung im Mainstream-Medium, zum Beispiel einem Bekannten in Österreich, einfach einmal die Daten auf den Tisch legen. Und dann will ich einmal sehen, was die Argumente derer sind, die sagen, 12-Jährige sollen jetzt zum 4. Mal mit einem veralteten, neuartigen Impfstoff, möchte ich es eben nicht nennen, Injektionen hier behandelt werden. Das ist unfassbar. Deshalb, ich möchte Sie bitten, ein ganz großer Applaus. Gerd Wandenbosch ist extra aus Belgien zu uns gekommen. Ich danke ihm von ganzem Herzen, dass auch er heute hier ist und nun zu Ihnen sprechen wird. Herzlichen Dank.
You're making me nervous. Thank you so much. Well, scientists as myself are not used to do this kind of rally speeches, but we really have an obligation to do so. It is a real moral obligation. It is the passion for the truth that pushes us scientists to speak out and to share our insights that are we are completely independent scientists. I'm an independent consultant, worked for a long time in the vaccine industry, and got to know also these not-for-profit organizations, global health organizations, WHO, Gavi, etc. So I know very, very well what's going on in their heads, what's going on behind the scenes. And I will tell you one thing. What hurts them most is when their science, what they try to sell us as science, gets undermined. And that is one of the reasons why I have promised myself that I would never ever become political. You will not see that I will attack individuals. You will not see that I go on platforms that are politically biased, etc. Because I know that by sticking to the science, and believe me people, there is many things in this world that I don't understand, that I have no clue about. But in all modesty, it's very, very difficult to beat somebody like me in the science of vaccines, immunology, and virology. Because in all modesty, I'm probably one of the very few people who is active in this field, who has learned to understand all of these disciplines at a level that I can analyze what's really going on right now with the virus, with the immune system, with the evolution of the whole thing. And by reflecting my insights and by sharing my insights, I know that people in industry, my peers, that is where I learned my job in vaccine industry. I'm not getting fact-checked by those people. They understand very well what I mean, and they understand very well that I'm right. And that is why my tool, my arm to undermine all this is the science, and will remain the science, because that is hurting them. And we know that the science is wrong. And people, I will help you to make your arguments, because we are so focused right now on preventing this vaccination of the children, which is, and people like us scientists, we don't use these words lightly. It's a crime what is happening. And what will they tell you? What will they tell to parents? They will tell you, well, you are getting your children vaccinated against all these childhood diseases, measles, mumps, rubella, varicella, rotavirus, etc. So why wouldn't you get your child vaccinated against COVID, and why not against influenza? I will tell you one thing that is very, very different. All these vaccines, these childhood vaccines, or, and please remember this very well, live attenuated vaccines. These are viruses that can still replicate, but that have been attenuated in order to not cause the disease. Why I'm telling this? Because this is fundamentally different from the vaccines that are used right now that are not replicating. And if you use a live vaccine, it stimulates the natural immunity of the child, and it learns the immune system of the child to how to deal with foreign pathogens. It trains the innate immune system. COVID vaccines cannot do this. Inactivated or non-replicated influenza vaccines cannot do this. And that was the reason why SARS-CoV-2 was in fact acting as a live attenuated vaccine for the children. And that is why the children don't get the disease when they are infected with SARS-CoV-2. So this is so important. This is a fundamental difference with all the other childhood vaccines that in fact contribute to training the innate immune system that enables young children to acquire natural immunity. Why is this so important? Because the natural immunity is not only important from an individual viewpoint that it is going to protect the children, but also that it helps to generate herd immunity. Remember, herd immunity was the key word when the mass vaccination campaigns were rolled out, because the purpose was to generate herd immunity. Herd immunity can only be obtained when the population, when people acquire natural immunity. Children are best placed to generate this natural immunity. So why are the current vaccines so detrimental? Because they do not train this natural immunity, and what they do is they will interfere with the training of the innate immunity, so they will prevent the children from acquiring this natural immunity. Whereas the antibodies themselves that are generated by the current vaccines, as Ryan already explained correctly, are no longer a good match for the virus that is currently circulating. So these antibodies are worthless for the children, but they are interfering with the training of their natural immunity. And even worse, the antibodies that no longer match to the circulating virus right now is going to make the virus even more infectious, because it will bind to the virus but not neutralize the virus. By binding to the virus, it will facilitate entry of the virus into the susceptible cells. And that is the reason why we are now seeing, look at the results of the statistics of the UK, of the US, where the results of the vaccination of children, the number of deaths, the mortality rates of the children, the vaccinated children, even the children that were vaccinated against COVID-19, the mortality rates of children with COVID or that died because of COVID are much higher than in the children that were not vaccinated. Of course, if you prevent children from developing natural immunity, this is also going to weaken their defense against a number of other pathogens. It could even lead to autoimmune diseases. And this is pure scientifically. This is not like fantasy. Which I challenge all my colleagues or experts to discuss this, because there is really no rationale whatsoever to vaccinate children. Not only is it not efficacious, but it is very, very dangerous. I can tell you this is my absolute priority right now. We need absolutely to prevent this. It is criminal, it is dangerous to get these children vaccinated. There will be consequences. There will be consequences, and the statistics are really very clear. I can only advise people, please, in this regard, do your own research, because the data are available. the National Office Statistics in the UK, data in the US, it's all published. You can consult this data. You will see already what the results are. This is just unacceptable. And for those who have some hesitation, when you don't know whom to believe, please ask yourself 3 questions. First of all, if people are pretending stuff, whatever their qualification, wherever the place they work, you should ask yourself, do these people have some experience, some background in vaccinology? Because it is about vaccines, right? Do they have some expertise in virology, because it is about a virus? Do they have expertise in immunology, right? Because it is about antibodies, about the immune system. If they don't have this expertise, plural, right? I mean, they cannot make a sound judgment of what will be the impact of those vaccines on the immune system of the children. And please ask yourself the second question. Do these people that make those recommendations, do they have a conflict of interest or not? We are all independent. We have not these conflicts of interest. We are independent scientists. They can fact check us, they can ridicule us, but they can never ever pretend that we have conflicts of interest. I know this. Many of these people are consultant for these public health authorities, global health authorities, etc. Many of them have of course, their stakes, have their options in these big pharmaceutical companies. They are not independent whatsoever. And third, if they know things much better than we do, why then are they censoring us? Why are they refusing to engage in a public debate? Because this would be the most easy way to get rid of us, to make fools of us, because we don't have the science. We cannot defend ourselves, so to say, scientifically speaking. Then they would get rid of us, no problem. Why don't they do this? Please ask yourself these 3 questions and make your own sound judgment. But even if you don't understand the science I'm talking about, please, you should really avoid to get the children vaccinated, because this is really going to be catastrophic. Please consult also my website, other website, Voice for Science and Solidarity. We even have pediatricians that are understanding the immunology, that are explaining to the parents in open letters to parents, to pediatricians, why it is so detrimental to have children vaccinated. Everybody understands, of course, the side effects. Many of the colleagues here have been talking about the side effects. The side effects in their own right are already a catastrophe. But I'm telling you, even the longer term effects, the impact on the immune defense of children towards a panoply of different diseases is going to be catastrophic. And as you know, autoimmune diseases, allergies may take more time to develop. None of these side effects, so to say, in the longer term, are taken yet into consideration when the side effects are evaluated. And already the side effects, without these long-term effects, are skyrocketing. So please take this into consideration. And I would tell you, I mean, do your own research. Please go on the websites that you see here. There is many very good resources. So thank you for your attention. I'm so happy to be there. I'm so happy to see all your faces. Thanks for all you do. Thank you.
Ich glaube, bei vielen von Ihnen wäre es so, wenn Sie nicht schon stehen würden und Sie würden sitzen, dass Sie wahrscheinlich aufstehen würden, wie so manchen Speaker heute und eine Standing Ovation machen. Ich nehme an, Gerd Wandenbosch ist einer von Ihnen. Jetzt, wo ich mich so da auf dem Bildschirm sehe, könnte ich schön langsam einmal meinen Regenmantel ausziehen. Habe jetzt mir gerade gedacht, die Sonne ist doch auf unserer Seite. Wie schön es ist auch heute wieder so, selbst wenn da jetzt noch einmal so eine kleine Regenschauer daherkommt, könnte passieren. Ich kann Ihnen sagen, es ist mehr denn je, nach dem Regen kommt der Sonnenschein. So after rain comes sunshine. Und so wird es auch sein, wenn mehr Licht draufgescheint wird auf das, was hier passiert, dass hier für Aufklärung gesorgt wird. Und ich möchte jetzt die Möglichkeit nutzen, den Medien, den freien Journalisten der neuen Medien zu danken, weil ich gesagt habe, das Licht, das wo drauf scheint. Ich möchte ein paar Medienvertreter, die auch bei der Medienkonferenz waren, jetzt hier auch begrüßen, weil sie hier auch im Publikum sind, von hier auch berichten. Ich kann keine Vollständigkeit geben, weil es sind zu viele großartige Sprecher gewesen, aber ich möchte Ihnen sagen, hier sind Journalisten zum Beispiel aus Kanada. Glenn Young von Bright Light News Canada. Bright Light, das helle Licht, das scheint die Dinge an. So, und der Glenn war einer derer, der mich auf die Idee gebracht hat, bei unserer Better Way Konferenz im Mai in Bath, zu sagen, wir müssen sowas wieder machen, wir müssen sowas bald wieder machen und wir müssen sowas machen, bevor der Herbst kommt. Und deshalb habe ich es geschafft, binnen 6 Wochen und nicht statt in 6 Monaten würde man normalerweise brauchen, mit einem kleinen Team, dem ich von Herzen an dieser Stelle danken möchte und auch meiner Familie möchte ich von Herzen danken, dass sie mich unterstützen und dass das, was ich mache, auch überhaupt machen kann. Mein Mann Martin ist heute hier, mein Sohn Timo ist heute hier, meine Mutter Angela. Liebe Freunde von mir unterstützen mich von zu Hause und auch hier vor Ort. Ich möchte jetzt die Chance nutzen, Danke zu sagen an alle Menschen, die das hier möglich gemacht haben, dass sich neue Medien, freie Journalisten, dass sich Experten, dass sich Aktivisten aus der ganzen Welt hier treffen können. So, just quickly in English, the idea to make something like this happen came to my mind in Bath when we had the Better Way conference going on. And it was free media people like Glenn Young, getting friends with experts, like with, let's say, Ryan Cole, who is here, and so many others. And we said, we have to meet in person, because it's the personal contact. It is the personal contact that brings us together, that makes us creative to build a better way, to find a better way. And so, auf Deutsch kurz noch weiter, es ist genau das, dass wir uns persönlich treffen können, dass wir uns nicht nur im Zoom-Call online begegnen, weil da werden wir kreativ und da kommen uns die Ideen für die Herausforderungen dieser Zeit. Und deshalb, es ist Glenn jetzt hier von mir auf die Bühne geholt worden. Er wird ein kurzes Statement bringen in Vertretung für so viele freie Journalisten, die Donnerstag und Freitag bei der ersten Better Way Media Conference gesprochen haben. Und ich danke Glenn auch, dass er aus Kanada extra hierher gekommen ist. Viele andere Medienpartner, auch die Stadtzeitung, die Steff Manzini ist hier im Publikum, Dan Estin Gregory aus Großbritannien, er hat einen großen Podcast, ist auch hier. Viele, viele österreichische Medien, Sie kennen sie, auf 1, Report 24, alle waren sie dabei. Und Glenn darf jetzt, es ist sehr spontan, ich habe ihn einfach hergeholt, über diese neuen Medien kurz sprechen und als Vertreter dieser seine Message an euch richten. Er wird auf Englisch sprechen, Uwe Alschner wird es wieder kurz zusammenfassen.
Guten Tag to everybody. Thanks so much. First of all, to the Better Way people here. They are fantastic. They are incredible. What they are doing is they're sowing seeds of love and unity around the world right now. All we've experienced for the last couple of years is division, division, division. They want to sow seeds of hatred, but these events bring people together, and especially the idea is that we know that we're in an information war. We're in a PR, public relations war. And so to support the independent media, I think, is the way to go now. We have to create new systems of medicine. We have to create new systems of media. We have to rethink everything that we want to do. So as we rethink these things. The better way is the way to do this. Anytime, for anybody who's watching this from wherever you are in the world, please come to any of these conferences, because what happens is it's not just about us. You meet people who are in the exact same positions, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Germany, Austria, whether you're in Australia. You hear the same stories of oppression, the lies in the media, and you think, my God, this is exactly what I heard back home, what I experienced. And we all know that it's happening around the world. What it does is it just unifies us even more to get the truth out. And all these new media people, you really have to give it to them and the experts. We're working tirelessly to help, because this is not about us. It's something bigger that compels us to do this. I used to be a teacher. I was a homeopath. I quit all that because I never did journalism before, and the next thing you know, I've done over 100 interviews. I've had the pleasure of meeting people like Dr. Christoph Plath, Maria, Dr. Ryan Cole, Geert Vanden Bosch, Mark Trozzi, Tesla. It's insane, the people I've met, because you know why? It's bringing together the diamonds of humanity who are here to fight for all of us, with love. Thank you.
So, bevor, und es haben sich schon einige am Rand der Bühne positioniert, wir das The Who is Who des Widerstandes aus der ganzen Welt auf die Bühne bringen, möchte ich Ihnen jetzt einen ganz lieben Freund vorstellen, und wir haben noch viel zu wenig Präsenz gehabt und gemeinsame Treffen gehabt, und es werden viele, viele mehr folgen. Ich darf Ihnen als nächsten Sprecher vorstellen, ein lieber Kollege, ein Kollege, der aus Ungarn zu uns gekommen ist. Bitte ein Riesenapplaus für Dr. József Tamás. Danke, Joshi, danke.
Liebe Freunde in Wien, ich bin ein praktischer Arzt, Internist aus Ungarn, aus Budapest. Seit 2020 wecke ich Menschen auf, vertreibe Ängste, organisiere ungarische, ähnlich denkende Ärzte, und seit 2021 therapiere ich Impfgeschädigten. Leider in meiner Praxis sind immer mehr Impfgeschädigten, jetzt aktuell so 70-80% meiner Patienten sind impfgeschädigt. Wir haben gerade eine großartige internationale Konferenz beendet. Alle Anerkennung und Dank an Dr. Maria Hubner-Mogg, weil sie in Wien organisiert hat. Ich möchte euch nur 3 kurze Botschaften bringen. Erstmal eine gute Nachricht. Die Dinge laufen nicht so, wie die Teufel es geplant haben. Also sind sie gezwungen, ihre teuflischen Pläne immer wieder zu ändern. Die Propaganda von Covid und anderen Epidemien ist bereits gescheitert. Die meisten Menschen werden sich nicht mehr immer wieder impfen lassen. Aber weil sie um jeden Preis die neue Weltordnung einführen wollen, kommen sie jetzt mit anderen Arten von Waffen, anderen Arten von Angstmacherei. Klimaänderung, Krieg, Geldverschwinden, aber auch diese laufen nicht wie geplant. Früher oder später landen sie alle im Gefängnis. Zweites Mal, bitte tut nicht, was sie planen. Wenn ihr nicht in ihrem System spielt, damit können sie nicht umgehen. Verwendet bitte nicht ihre Bankkarte. Haltet ihr euch überall am Bargeld. Kauft ihr nicht bei multinationalen Unternehmen. Bildet ihre kleine Produktionsgemeinschaften, wir sagen in Ungarn Korbgesellschaften, in denen ihr euch mit Lebensmitteln versorgen könntet, indem ihr den Handel abschaltet. Trifft ihr euch, unterhaltet ihr persönlich, produziert ihr Lebensmittel, arbeitet ihr von Ort zusammen. Wir brauchen eine Parallelgesellschaft. Man muss zusammenkommen, man muss Freunde finden. Und drittes Mal, bitte wecke auf mit aller Kraft, die noch schlafen. Muss ein großer Teil der Gesellschaft verstehen, wie gegen uns ein Krieg geführt wird. Das ist das Ziel überall auf der Welt. Weck alle auf, die noch Angst haben. Es ist noch nicht vorbei. Es wird noch ein harter Kampf sein, aber wir werden gewinnen. Gott segne die Österreicher, die Ungarn und alle auf der Welt, die für das gleiche Ziel arbeiten. Ich möchte jetzt Englisch doch nicht sprechen, sondern ein paar Worte auf Ungarisch. Entschuldige von dem Deutschen. Aber ich möchte auch vertrösten
Bravo,
die
bravo,
Ungarn.
gutes Deutsch, bravo, danke.
Kedves barátok itt Bécsben és odahaza Magyarországon. Remek nemzetközi konferencián vagyunk túl. Minden elismerés és köszönet dr. Maria Hubner Mognak, aki ezt megszervezte itt Bécsben. 3 dolgot szeretnék üzenni. Első jó hír, hogy a dolgok nem úgy alakulnak, ahogy tervezték, ezért újra és újra kénytelenek változtatni az ördögi terveiken. Ezért azt mondják odahaza, figyeljetek, elmúlt. Mivel mindenáron be akarják vezetni az új világrendet, ezért most jönnek másfajta félelemkeltéssel, klímával, háborúval, pénz eltüntetésével, meg az üzemanyag eltüntetésével. Ne játszd az ő rendszerüket, ne használd a bankkártyát, foggakörömmel ragaszkodj a készpénzhez, ne vásárolj a multiknál. Alakíts kis termelőközösségeket, és a kereskedelem kikapcsolásával el tudjátok magatokat látni élelmiszerrel. Dolgozzatok össze helyileg. Egyedül az buktatja meg az egészet, ha minden erőbbel ébreszted az alvókat, ha a társadalom nagy része megérti, hogy miként folyik ellene háború. A világon mindenütt ez a cél. Nincs vége, még küzdelmes lesz, de győzni fogunk. Isten áldja a magyarokat, osztrákokat, és mindenkit a világon, aki ugyanezt akarja. Vielen Dank für Wien, vielen Dank für Maria.
Wow, danke schön. Joshi, danke, dass du gekommen bist. Deine bezaubernde Frau unterstützt ihn auch sehr. Wir wollten jetzt ja schon das Who is Who des Aktivismus auf die Bühne bitten, aber wir haben einen lieben Kollegen, er ist aus Großbritannien her. Ich finde, er hat eine der großartigsten Präsentationen gemacht bei unserer Better Way-Konferenz im Mai. Dieser Mann versteht es einfach, in die Zukunft der Medizin zu schauen. Er ist naturheilkundlich unfassbar versiert und er bringt einfach auch die Daten mit rein. Er zeigt Beweise auf, was und warum was gesund ist und förderlich für unsere Zeit. Unser nächster Sprecher muss bald zum Flughafen aufbrechen, daher haben wir gesagt, er soll sofort auf die Bühne kommen. Begrüßen Sie bitte mit mir PhD Rob Verkerk.
Thank you very much. I am an ecologist. I have been studying for 40 years the way in which living systems operate. And one of the things that brings us all together is this inherent understanding that we are being disconnected from nature. Many of us before we saw the lack of transparency, before we saw the manipulation of data, before we saw the extraordinary harms that were being incurred on people of ever younger age groups, before we saw the unnecessary coercion of the youngest, most valuable generations, before we saw the impacts on fertility so there may not be future generations. We are not likely to see bodies lining up on the streets right now, but over time we will see increasing mortalities. It's already happening. Look at the excess mortality data. But they are trying to separate us not only from nature, but from each other. We're seeing the wedge of a totalitarian state. You all understand this in this part of the world better than ever. The axis of power between Germany and France that created the pharmaceutical industry 70 years later, while this industry has its back against the wall, it's lost the revenues from blockbuster drugs, is now looking for mRNA genetic vaccines as its get out of jail card. And it's using the global population as guinea pigs, our children as guinea pigs. And we are around about 5 to 10% of the world's population who's saying, you must stop. You must reconnect with nature, understand the value. We've just been hearing from Dr. van den Bosch, the natural immunity in children when most children have already been exposed to SARS-CoV-2 is more than enough. What happens when they get exposed to the genetic vaccines is you break down the very system that our children, the most valuable commodity our society has, you break that down. And they keep exposing us to essentially mainstream media lies that allow most people to be lost in a cybernetic loop of fear so that they can no longer engage their rational brains. And in the process, they're causing us to split up families, friendships, disconnecting us from each other and from nature. So let's look at the big picture. We think of this as a war, and in many respects it is a war. But if we fight it in a traditional war, we will lose. You've heard a lot about the importance of connection and of love and of peace and of the need to create new structures. We need new structures of education, new structures of media, of medicine. We need to reimagine the whole process of medical bioethics so doctors can genuinely do no harm. And we've got to build these systems in parallel, and it's happening around us. At the Better Way conferences, more and more people are coming together. The major thread in these last 3 days is about creating a new media, because we have to communicate. It's happening. So please think about how you communicate with your friends. When you see people who have a different view, do not attack them. Get onto the same page as they are and understand why it is they have the view that the vaccines are good for them or their children. Understand what information they've been supplied with. Find new sources of information. All of it you can find connected through all of the organizations. 150 organizations have come together under the World Council for Health. Go and have a look at their websites. Listen to us doctors and scientists who have got huge amounts of information on what's really going on, so you can educate others. They care about their children as much as we care about our children. but they have a different perception of the world around you because of their belief systems and the information they've received. So let's understand that this pharmaceutical model is struggling. The more we can look for a solution that is inspired by nature everywhere we look. If we look at the food production system, regenerative agriculture is what we look for if we're going to look for a sustainable solution. In healthcare as well, we need to look at regenerative healthcare. And that means eating healthy diets, sleeping properly, using nature to support the system, not to use genetic vaccines that turn your body into a pharmaceutical factory. Okay? That model is a broken model, and we must educate others to understand it doesn't make sense. The statistics are showing us very, very clearly that people are really starting to die at increasing numbers. It doesn't matter where you look. Our world in data, you look at the Office of National Statistics in the UK, you look at the US CDC data, it's all pointing to a really, in the Northern Hemisphere, an unusual number of deaths that are happening at a time that SARS-CoV-2 cannot be seen as the culprit. And as Dr. van den Bosch tells us, this is the calm before the storm. All the time, this virus, under the selection pressure from the vaccines, is mutating, and it will come back to bite us if we don't stop, particularly our children being vaccinated. So it is our duty to help educate people. Let's do it with open hearts, with real quality information. Let's redefine who the authorities in health are, because it's not the people who are piping their message through the mainstream media. So we all have a duty to do this. We need to work together as change agents with the assistance of new media. So let's do it together with open hearts and really make a difference. This winter will be a tough winter, and we've got to work together. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Wunderbare Worte, ich habe Ihnen nicht zu viel versprochen. Wir haben jetzt auch von unserer Better Way Konferenz vom World Council for Health bereits den Inhalt sozusagen freigegeben. Wir haben damals auch Tickets online verkauft, aber es werden diese Inhalte bei World Council for Health beziehungsweise bei der betterwayconference.org Seite, diese ganzen Reden können Sie sich dort dann auch jetzt anschauen. Da war Rob Kirk einer der Sprecher. Schauen Sie einmal auf diese Seite, das sind alle Beiträge von der Better Way Konferenz im Mai. Als nächstes möchte ich wieder die Musikerin, die Sie schon zu Beginn gehört haben, auf die Bühne bitten. Aber das Schöne ist, dass ich vorher möchte, dass die Aktivisten, die aus der ganzen Welt angereist sind, um hier mit uns in Wien ihre wichtigen Botschaften Ihnen auch vorzubringen, auf die Bühne kommen. Dann wird Claudia Engelberger, die schon zu Beginn die Gedanken sind frei sind, gesungen hat, hier mit der Gitarre und ihrem wunderschönen Gesang ein Lied vorbringen. Und dann werden die Aktivisten aus der ganzen Welt das, was sie vorbereitet haben, was sie wissen lassen möchten, uns kundtun. So, for now, I ask the beautiful activists to come on stage. Beautiful human beings who have risked so much in their lives to be here, to stand in their countries, to come so they can join forces. They will have great meetings in the next days. They are getting creative ideas to find a better way together. All these beautiful people came from all around the world to be at the Better Way conference days, to be here at the Better Way rally in Austria, and all these beautiful singers, activists will now join the stage already while our beautiful singer is going to present her next song. And we are going to ask the speakers the activists for a second. So, singer Claudia can come on stage. So, the next song, Claudia Engelberger. Bitte schauen Sie auf YouTube den Kanal dieser wunderbaren österreichischen Künstlerin, dieser wunderschönen Sängerin auch an. Claudia Engelberger mit ihrem nächsten Song. Unsere wunderbaren Freunde aus der ganzen Welt hier mit auf der Bühne. Sie sehen Menschen aus Portugal, aus Kanada, aus Brasilien, aus Australien, aus Polen, aus Österreich, aus Deutschland. Von überall in der Welt sind die Menschen da, aus der Schweiz. Viele, viele Ungarn zum Beispiel haben wir heute auch schon gehört. So viele verschiedene Nationen. Und ich freue mich riesig, dass wir jetzt hier musikalisch, das ist ein wichtiger Aspekt, sage ich immer, bei dieser Crowd Resilience, bei diesem Miteinander zusammenstehen und feiern. Oft braucht es gar nicht so lange reden, oft braucht es einfach nur Emotion, Musik und beieinander sein. Und das ist einfach wichtig, dass wir das nicht vergessen. Wir dürfen fröhlich sein und gute Musik hören. So for now a beautiful song from Claudia Engelberger with all these beautiful people on stage, and we all know that music brings us into emotion, and sometimes it doesn't need so many words. It just needs us being together, standing strong together. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you so much that you also joined us. Yeah. Okay, ein großer Applaus bitte von Ihnen für all diese wunderbaren Menschen, von denen Sie gleich viel mehr noch hören werden.
Also das Lied, das ich jetzt noch mit euch teile, heißt Freiheit, Wahrheit, Liebe. Ein Lied von mir. Ich habe mir vor ein paar Tagen überlegt, was singe ich denn da? Und dann habe ich mir gedacht, ich lasse einfach was kommen und mache einfach was Neues. Und diese Worte, Freiheit, Wahrheit, Liebe, sind meine Lieblingsworte. Die stehen sogar auf meinem VW-Bus drauf. Und das ist ein Lied zum Mitsingen. Es ist ganz einfach und ihr würdet es wunderschön finden, wenn wir das alle ganz kraftvoll gemeinsam singen und wenn jeder einzelne von euch da mit mir mitsingt. Weil Singen, das macht nicht nur glücklich, das ist auch super gesund und macht Freude. I repeat this in English. I actually wrote this song for this occasion here a few days ago, so it just came when I was thinking about what I should sing here. And the song, it's in German, but I think I will spontaneously sing it in English too, just consists of 3 words, and these words are freedom, truth, love. And I invite you all to join and sing with me. It's a very easy song. And I would be very happy to hear all your beautiful voices. So first it will be in German, then in English. I didn't really plan that, but I think it works too. Okay. Und ihr könnt auch gerne die Sänger unter euch gerne irgendwelche Stimmen dazu singen oder so. Herzlich eingeladen. Viel Freude.
Freiheit, 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 Freiheit.
Okay, jetzt wissen Sie schon, wie das Lied geht. Kleine Störung da, aber jetzt geht's weiter. Sie haben alle ganz wunderbare Stimmen und das Lied ist ganz leicht. Probieren Sie es mal. Ich würde mich ganz fest freuen, wenn Sie alle mit mir singen. Liebe, Liebe, yeah. Liebe, Liebe, Liebe. Jetzt können Sie schon, jetzt singen wir das Ganze noch einmal und jetzt machen wir da ein Manifestationslied draus und jetzt schauen wir, dass wir das alle mit ganz viel Gefühl singen und damit holen wir das ganz fest in unsere Realität rein. Freiheit, 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 Freiheit. Auf Englisch. For the end, freedom. 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 Ach, die anderen gehen auch noch. Truth, 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 truth. Love. Freiheit. 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 Auf die Freiheit, auf die Wahrheit, auf die Liebe. Dankeschön. Und danke, dass Sie alle Teil dieser Uraufführung dieses Liedes waren und das so wunderbar mitgesungen haben. Das hat nämlich noch nie jemand gehört außer mir. Danke.
Danke von ganzem Herzen, Claudia Engelberger. Ich hoffe, du hast nach diesem Wochenende noch mehr Follower. Du hast eine wunderschöne Stimme. Thank you, you have a beautiful voice. And now we ask the speakers if this is okay for you to stay on stage while your friends from all around the world are speaking one after another. We don't have any order, like eine Reihenfolge, wann wer spricht. So whoever, wants to start, probably. Is it okay, Vicky? Vicky was here in February already at the Europe for Freedom rally. She is a wonderful human being, mother and grandmother, and she stands up, takes a stand for all of us, and especially also for the children. Thank you so much, Vicky from Portugal. Thank you for joining us.
Hi everyone. Well, we've been watching today, like many speeches. I'm not going to take you so much time, but I want to say something. We cannot afford the winter because of the prices, because people keep bleeding the people that are on the power. We must fight. Peace is good, love is good, but we must do pure activism, because that's what they do with us. They do terrorism. So, as a mother and grandmother, as a representative from Portugal, my country, as they say in Europe and all over the world, that Portugal is a sleeping country, it's not true. Because I'm Portuguese, I'm on the street, I'm fighting for my freedom. Every time, thank you guys, every time someone decides to start a war, it's Europe that pays the price. Guess what? I don't want to pay nothing! We do not finance war, we try to deal with peace. That's what each one of us have to do for our children, our grandchildren, and the future of humanity. I'm here today not only as Portuguese, I'm here today as a citizen of the world, because we have that responsibility towards the future, towards the healthness, towards us. Because I want to be alive, I want to be free, I don't want to wear masks, I don't want to get jabbed, I just want to live. That's what I'm asking for you guys. Keep on fighting, let's going to win again this war!
Thank you to Maria, I want to say thank you to Austria, I want to say thank you to everyone for having us. It's been just so amazing. And I want to point out that Australia and Austria, they only have 2 letters difference, so we're basically family, right?
year ago, you guys know that where I lived in Victoria, Australia, we had the longest lockdowns, the most harsh. We had old women being pushed down and sprayed with pepper spray. I went to prison for 22 days. All these things happened. And I asked the world to please protest on our behalf because we could not protest anymore. We were being shot at with rubber bullets. And I know that Austria heard our cry for help, and 700 or 800 of you went to the Australian Embassy to help us fight for our fight when you were also fighting. And I want to say on behalf of all Australians that thank you so much. It means so much to us. And I know that we now have bonds that will last a lifetime. Now, that was then. Now we're here, aren't we? And now it's time for us to all unite and act in unison, because there are already enough of us. We're just running in different directions. If we do the same thing, even if it's just a small thing all around the world, it's going to make a huge impact. And that is what is happening. That is what is happening at this conference, and it's going to keep happening. So who here is ready to make small changes in their lives so that we can get our lives back? And we're going to, because we are now starting to get strategic. We are starting to work together. It took us a few years to get things sorted, but it's happening now. Now when I look at these globalists or these prime ministers or governments, you know what I see is just a bully in a schoolyard. They're loud, they're annoying, and what they want is your attention. So let's just ignore them. Let's use our energy to create the world that we deserve, instead of using our energy to fight against them, because that is what they want. So let's make them even more annoyed and just keep moving forward. That's the way forward for all of us. So that is why we have started the global walkout, which are very small steps that anyone can do. The first step is to only use cash as much as possible. Who here is using cash? Yes? We must keep cash alive. Tell your friends and family. Step number 2 is to support local farmers, local markets, and local grocery stores if you can afford to, when you can. The third step is coming out in 4 hours, and it is to delete all mainstream media apps off your phone, off your tablet, off your computer. Make sure you unsubscribe from them, because they try to entice you with the title, right? But we don't need any of their news. We have so much news here already, we don't need them. So who here is going to stop mainstream media this week? Well, again, on behalf of Australia, thank you so much for having us, and I'm going to see you again in a world that we are creating together right now, one that is free, one that is happy, one that is peaceful, but we do need to work towards it. But I know it's going to happen. There is absolutely hope. Every day that we wake up in the morning is one day closer to us winning our liberties back. So I'll see you there. Thank you so much.
Hello, Vienna! How are you? Before I start, I want to congratulate the World Council for Health, Maria, Jennifer, Kat, all the board, for such a marvelous event, or the Better Way Conference. It was 3 days with many information important for the world. Second, I want to speak in the name of all citizens in the world who had the opportunity to have their life saved by ivermectin early treatment. You know, these doctors are truly heroes of the humanity. So let's clap their hands for all the doctors. They confront since the beginning of the pandemic. We know what they do. We stand together with all the doctors, right? Okay, I just could fight for our population freedom because we got one president, chief of state, who defended since the beginning of pandemic. He was against the lockdown, against the social distance, against the mask. He supports the early treatment, you know, the medicines. And now he don't vaccinate his daughter. It's President Bolsonaro. He fighting, he defending the early treatment. He not going vaccinate his daughter. And for finish my speech here, I just want to hear from Vienna one word: freedom! 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 Thank you very much.
Hello, Vienna! And around the world. My name is Kristen Nagel, and I'm here representing the Canadian activists as well as Canadian frontline nurses. We are proud advocates of medical freedom, and we are here to bring in a new health framework that looks at the root cause of illness, focuses on natural prevention, and sees the whole person as a whole. And we're in the middle of creating this right now. So a wise man told me that authority does not equal truth. Truth brings authority, but really authority is found in all of our hearts. And I think that is what everyone here is bringing today, is heart. So I was a nurse of 14 years. I was terminated in 2020 for speaking up, for going to Washington, D.C. on January 6th of 21. As a Canadian, when I flew back with my partner in crime, Sarah Shajunian, we were deemed domestic terrorists. The RCMP showed up at our house because apparently we were there to storm and riot the Capitol on January 6th in Washington, D.C. I think it's been a long journey for all of us, but I wouldn't change any of it for a moment. It led me to being at the Canadian convoy in Ottawa, where I spent the whole month being boots on the ground, listening to stories. And just meeting real people from grassroots, just everyday people. And it's not going to be the politicians, it's not going to be the scientists, it's not going to be the doctors, and it's not going to be the nurses that save us. It's going to be everyone that is here today, everyone in our own way, in our own unique differences. So one of the biggest lessons that I learned from being in Ottawa during the convoy is the power of love and the power of community. And that is how we are going to win this, by remembering that we are all connected. And look at us here, all from around the world. Here in Austria, we are connected around the world. And it is community and love that is going to win this. Every hardship, every obstacle, anything that the government tried to throw at us while at the convoy, we came together despite our differences, despite our background, despite our religious beliefs. It didn't matter, because we were here for freedom. And we appreciated everyone's unique differences that came, because that's what we're fighting for, to be different. And together that equals community. And so I know we've heard a lot of words, and we've heard a lot of people speak, and I know everyone's cold and tired, but I want everyone to really feel that in their hearts today. So I invite you, this will be quick, but I invite you to close your eyes, hold your neighbor's hand if you're comfortable. If not, place your hand over your heart. And take a deep breath in. Deep breath in. Another deep breath in. Feel your lungs fill with air. Feel that breath in your lungs. Exhale. And do it again. Breathe in and feel that life flowing through your body, into every part of your cell, from your head to your toes, and hold on to that feeling of truth in your heart. And now I want you to visualize your future. Where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? And how does that make you feel in your heart? Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Hold on to that image one more time and that feeling. And open your eyes. And look at your neighbors. Look at this crowd. Look at everyone around you. And smile. And know that no matter how hard the last 2 years have been, no matter what is coming our way, that we are still here, we're together, we're connected, and our hearts are full, and we are always gonna find a better way. I love you all, and thank you so much for having me here in your country. And just loudly yell, I am free!
Kia ora everyone, I'm Sue Gray from New Zealand. And we've had an amazing journey to join you incredible, wonderful, brave, courageous people. And I'm just so honoured to be here. We had a Prime Minister who preached kindness and compassion, and whose real mission was to divide our people. But you know, the more she tried to divide us, the more we united and we came together. We went to court. I'm a lawyer. We went to court way back in May 2021 and we challenged their vaccine, the legality of the rollout, and we won. And when I was on social media announcing that we won, the message came through that the government had just announced that they were doing an emergency law change. And within 24 hours, they did what they said was a technical change of our Medicines Act to allow the rollout of a vaccine that they themselves had admitted they didn't know was safe or effective, and they didn't know if the benefits exceeded the risks. They changed the law to allow it to be rolled out to everyone in New Zealand instead of just a limited number of patients. So they took out the words a limited number of patients. So right from the start, they cheated, they lied, they misrepresented to the people that they were supposed to be acting on behalf of. But by forcing them to do that, we showed New Zealand what we were up against. So we won, we lost, but actually we won big time because we proved just how devious and lying they were. And then it was difficult to keep going to court. You do a huge amount of work if they're just going to change the law. What do you do? So what you do is unite with your community and you get the people speaking. And we were inspired by our friends from Canada. We copied their convoy and we went and camped on the New Zealand Parliament front lawn for 23 days. It was at the time when they told us that if you weren't vaccinated, you had no rights. that you weren't allowed to go to a cafe, you weren't allowed to go to a haircut, you weren't allowed to go to work if you were a healthcare professional or a teacher or a whole lot of other jobs. And yet when they told us that, we had the biggest party in New Zealand on their front lawn. That's people power. That's people power. And in the end, the only way they could get rid of us was by bringing in our own police force with rubber bullets and tear gas. They brought them in at 6 o'clock in the morning when people were still asleep, getting up, wanting to go to the toilet, whatever. They came in their riot shields, their helmets, all of their batons and everything else, and they smashed down tents, they smashed down people, they smashed down my best friend and fractured his hip. He was in hospital for 6.5 days getting an emergency hip operation. They injured so many people, they lied about it, and you know, that is what they did. They proved to everybody just how untrustworthy, how fraudulent they were. So we're supposed to be a peaceful, kind country. If it can happen to us, it can happen to anybody. But what we've learned is we've got the whole world in our team. And all of the amazing people of the world, we've learnt to step up, we've learnt to be brave, to speak with courage, to do what we need to do. And we've learnt that the more we step forward, the more they step back. And that is what we have to do. So thank you all. Thank you to Maria and the whole amazing team here. Just hugely appreciate being here and everybody's support. Thank you.
Austria, 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 what is going on? I am here from Canada. My name is Bethan. I am a nurse, like the beautiful Kristen. We work together on the front lines of the Ottawa Freedom Convoy. Hong Kong. Hong Kong. I see Poland. I see you, Poland. I came here to deliver a message that we are winning. We have already won. Oh, I know, it feels terrible. Some days you wake up and am I still in this nightmare? Is this still happening? I get it. But as Kristen said, every day we get closer to the victory. We are not going to back down. We are not going to give in. We are not going to give up. No, that is right. And I know we're winning because it's really cold out here. And it was really cold in Ottawa. And you're still standing. So thank you for your bravery, your courage, and your strength. We have got this. You've been hearing a lot of talk and a lot of chit-chat, so I will spare you. But I came all this way to let you know that Canada started a snowball running down a hill, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it is shown up in the Netherlands. It is shown up in Sri Lanka. You guys, it's just gonna keep on getting bigger and bigger because we move together. And when we move together, we are unstoppable. That's right, I see Greece over there. I see Germany over there. We've got some Japan in the house. We cannot be stopped. I love you, Poland. I love you back there. I see you. Because the Polish freedom fighters are some of the most dangerous freedom fighters in the world. We know you guys. Yes, you are. Guys, don't give up. Do not comply. We're almost at the finish line. And when we see these government officials go to court, we're all going to come here and watch their trials on a big screen. And we're going to eat popcorn and celebrate. Celebrate they're guilty and straight to jail. Remain courageous. Stand up for your family. Many of your family have hurt you. Many of your family have disinvited you. Forgive your families. Forgive your friends, for they don't know what they do. Because in the big picture, we're going to catch them. We are the resistance. We are the reason why Klaus Schwab and the globalists haven't eaten us all up already. So you keep standing. You keep standing. And we will see you on the other side. Thank you from Canada. We love you. We got this. We are winning.
Hallo Vienna. Schöne Grüße an Wien. Ich heiße Dolores Karl. Ich freue mich sehr, dass ich hier bin. And in English, obviously, it's wonderful. We had a conference this weekend with the World Council for Health, and we're supporting them in the World Freedom Alliance and the World Doctors Alliance, and we all work together around the world. Ich glaube, es ist sehr wichtig, dass ihr alle wissen, dass wir alle zwischen diesen Konferenzen, dass wir jede Woche miteinander reden und besprechen. Und jetzt sind wir in einer anderen Phase, ist es Lösung. Das ist jetzt die Lösung. So this is the phase of solutions. Weil eigentlich, für mich, wir haben doch nicht gewonnen, weil in Irland immer noch die injektieren 5-Jährige bis 12-Jährige und jeder. Das machen sie immer noch. So just in Ireland, we haven't won, I would say, because they're still injecting 5-year-olds to 12-year-olds. Und eigentlich, was sie vorbereiten ist, dass nächstes Jahr man wird durch Climate Change eine Lockdown passieren. Es könnte Ebola sein, es könnte Climate Change sein. So next year they are preparing to do another lockdown. It could be monkeypox, it could be Ebola, it could be climate change. Die letzten 2 Jahre war so, dass sie eigentlich sehen, was los ist. The last 2 years were just for you to see what they're doing. Some of us have seen the preparations for 30 years. We haven't won yet. Wir haben das über 30 Jahre gesehen. Jetzt sind wir in die Lösungsphase. Das bedeutet, die Leute, die schon wissen, was wirklich los ist, wir sind alle jetzt im Kontakt. So this is the solution phase. All of the freedom fighters in the world are now connected. Ja? Bisher waren wir alle allein. Bisher waren wir alle allein. Ich habe für 30 Jahre mit niemandem gesprochen, weil ich kannte niemanden, der eigentlich wusste, was passiert ist. So in 30 years, the last 30 years, I was alone. I didn't speak with anyone. I had nobody. And what I'm saying now is, to win this, we only need 1 in a million in every country to win. Das jetzt zu gewinnen, wir brauchen nur eine Person pro Million. In Irland, wir haben ungefähr 30 Leute. So to win, we need 1 in a million. In Ireland, we have 30 people. Die sind Leute, die eigentlich wissen, was los ist, aber sie bauen Firmen auf. Ja? Wir müssen eigentlich neue Gesundheitszentren aufbauen, neue Universitäten, ja? Aber es ist nicht einfach so, dass, oh ja, wir sagen das. Wir bauen es wirklich auf, ja? Okay. So I'll just finish off. In Ireland, what we're doing is, there's 30 of us. Obviously we have hundreds and thousands of people, but we've established a council for if you have a nation, how would it work, right? The real policies, and how would that be supported by the law, and that the future civil servants will be accountable for what they recommend, and the police are accountable, and the judges are accountable. So we don't have that system now. We don't have it, but you thought we had it. So we have the solution, and we are building it in 4 other countries. And those 4 other countries will build it in 3 other countries, and we will work with the World Freedom Alliance, the World Council for Health, the World Doctors Alliance, Doctors for COVID Ethics. And it may take us 2 years, it may take us 10 years, it may take us a generation. But in a generation, the world will be a much better place. And we will win. So nur letzte Mal auf Deutsch. Ja? So, es ist eigentlich harte Arbeit, unsere Nationen, unsere Länder aufzubauen. Ja? Die haben es eigentlich mittendrin zerstört. Ja? So es ist wie, als wir am Ende dieser 3. Krieg sind, wo das Gerichtssystem eigentlich nicht funktioniert. Ja? Dieses Gesundheitssystem funktioniert nicht. Die Bildung funktioniert nicht. Ja? Um das zu machen, denn was Sie machen müssen, ist, Sie müssen, wir fragen, ob Sie uns helfen. Ja? Das bedeutet, Sie gucken neue Medien an. Sie kaufen ihr Essen, das Mittel, man muss in der Lokalebene kaufen, so Sie müssen irgendwas machen. Freiheit ist nicht nur, dass man am Sonntagnachmittag kommt. Man muss eigentlich entscheiden, ich gehe zu den Ärzten und Krankenschwestern, die eigentlich ihre Beruflichkeit verloren haben, so dass sie würden nicht Leute töten mit Impfstoffen. Verstehen Sie? Wir müssen eigentlich machen. So, es kann sein, dass es 2 Jahre dauert. Es könnte sein, diese Aufbauung, es ist wirklich nach einem Krieg, ja? Was ist es? Wir müssen es alles aufbauen. Es könnte 2 Jahre dauern, es könnte 10 Jahre dauern, es könnte eine gesamte Generation bauen. Aber wir machen das, wir werden gewinnen, wir werden unsere Freiheit erleben. Vielen Dank.
Hi. Hello, Vietnam. Thank you so much. So many people, you're here, although there's cold. So it's obvious there is courage. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much to Maria and Dove for this and all their team, and World Council for Health for all these conference they had. I'm from Greece. I'm from Greek Medical Freedom Alliance and the Greek division of World Freedom Alliance and World Doctors Alliance. Thank you. And we would like just to mention, because normally you don't know, because systemic media don't mention, 7,500 Greek healthcare professionals from the public sector and thousands of them in the private sector are suspended from their jobs. 1 year now, 1st September was the negative anniversary of 1 year of suspension of their jobs. And by law, with all the political parties in Greece in agreement, they cannot work anywhere, in any job, in any field, anywhere in Greece, just because they didn't get the vaccine against COVID-19. So, thanks for starting up with us. So, we're making lawsuits. I don't want to talk much about that. There are things going on, but we also have over 60 years old, any citizen who is not vaccinated against COVID-19 is having €100 fine per month. And that's only in Greece. It's pioneering, the negative pioneering. We have made lawsuits against that, and our highest court said that it's constitutional. And so we're going to the European Court. But what I can tell you is that things are changing in Greece. We recently have a conference with the support of World Council for Health and with World Doctors Alliance, World Freedom Alliance Greece, and things are changing. People are coming with us, and they understand that it's different, and the political agenda changed. Now the masks are not mandatory and not in schools, although they said that before the conference. And now the vaccine passports are gone. So, and by finishing, I want to say from my heart and on behalf of the Greek team, thank you so much to all these people around me, to all these people, to you, to all the doctors and scientists and nurses and everyone who stood up. They were not afraid. They spoke up from the first moment. They were not afraid, and they didn't have to choose between money and job and career and personal life. They thought that truth and human life protection was their first priority, and they didn't negotiate it for that. And thanks to them, we can stand here all together. And thank you to all of them. Please, a big applause for all of them. And one more big applause to World Council for Health and Ove and Maria and all their team, because all these people were united in this conference, so many of them for the first time of those 2 years. Thank you so much. Dankeschön.
Wir kriegen das hin. Wir kriegen. Wir kriegen. We love you, Austria. So I'm from South Africa. My name is Shabnam Palesa Mohammed, and I come with a trio of activism, journalism, and law, because we will use whatever it takes to make sure freedom remains ours. No government gives us freedom. We are born with our freedom. So I serve in the World Council for Health, Children's Health Defense, Africa, the African Sovereignty Coalition, and Transformative Health Justice. I do have a message for you from Africa. Africa loves you. Do you love Africa? It is the most unvaccinated continent in the world because we don't trust governments. And we believe in natural medicines from the earth. And we come from a very difficult past of apartheid, separateness, where people were discriminated against on the basis of the color of their skin. This is given to us by our Creator. And we won our freedom through activism. And what is activism? It's what we're doing here today. We're not the only activists here today. You are the activists today. You, the people. Right now in South Africa, we have an alternative vaccine reporting system called SA-VAERS. Our people are suffering, like we are around the world, because we're one human family. Physical damage and deaths, mental depression and anxiety, the loss of jobs. And in a country
with the greatest gap between the predators at the top and the rest of us in the world. People can't access the healthcare system. So we depend on each other to heal each other, to believe each other, to support each other. Because an injury to one is an injury to all. If you are injured in Austria, we feel it in Africa. When you celebrate in Austria, we celebrate with you. We are one human family. They tried to divide us, right, Willow? They tried to divide us. We've never been more connected than we are right now. Because their weapon is lies, our power is truth. Their weapon is fear, our power is courage. Their weapon is hate, and our power is absolutely. So I want to talk about some ideas and solutions very quickly. In activism, the most important thing we can do is collaborate with each other. The most important thing. Part of that is forming continental and intercontinental coalitions. Use the connectedness we have now to work together as individuals, as groups, as continents, as intercontinents, and make sure that we make them irrelevant. What else can we do as activists? It's to always resist the other side, but never forget to create the better way. Don't give them all your energy. Focus on the future that we're building. In journalism, in the media, number one, don't ever let them threaten your right to free speech. They have no right to do that. Speak your truth and stand your ground. Your family is all around you, around the world. Secondly, be the media. You are the media. Citizen journalists are the most powerful media there is in the world, and we've seen that especially over the last 3 years. We are the media. And in the law, learn your rights, know your rights, live on your rights, whether that's natural law, where we all come from, whether it's your country constitution or it is the Nuremberg Code. Austria knows the Nuremberg Code, yes? Don't let anyone tell you you're not a doctor, what do you know about health? You're not a lawyer, what do you know about the law? You're not an activist, what do you know about freedom? Their greatest fear is us uniting and taking our power back. So they're watching us right now. Maybe we'll pray for them, but ultimately we are the 99% and we will always be together. I'd like to close by saying something that's very important to me before I hand over to my fellow activist, Willow. And that is that the power of the people is greater than people in power. You have to understand this. You have to. Can you say it with me? The power of the people.
The power of the people
is greater than people in power.
Than people in power.
You believe, Willow? And before Willow says a few more words and we exit the stage to hand over to some of our other amazing freedom fighters, I want to share two words from South Africa. One is Ubuntu, which means humanity. I am because of you, you are because of me. The other word that I'd like to share with you is amandla, which means power. So when we do rallies, you'll see the person at the front saying amandla, which means power. And the people respond with awetu, it is ours. So I want to say to Africa that we did this here in Austria today, so let's do it together. I will say amandla and you will say awetu, but you got to say it from here. For your ancestors, for your human family, and for our children. That's the power you got to say it with. Amandla! 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 Thank you very much. a few seconds with Willow. So, Willow, what kind of world do you want to live in?
A world where people don't have to be muzzled, put down, and their thoughts aren't considered important, because they are. Everyone here, their thoughts are very important, so are they.
And what's been your experience of the Better Way conference here in Austria that Dr. Maria Huber-Mogg and her team have worked so hard, and what's it been like for you?
I've never felt safer in my life. It's been one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had.
What kind of world we want to build?
A world of freedom, peace, and love.
Freedom, peace, and love. We love you, Austria. Wir kriegen das Kind.
Hi everyone. I noticed it's a little bit cold today. I thought maybe we could do a few things just to warm us up because we have a few speakers still. And I don't even know if I can speak, I'm so cold. So I'm going to put down the mic and perhaps we could just make a bit of space between us and I can show you 3 things that'll warm us up right away. So...